Everyone, we are in the midst of the Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook trade. The Kyrie Irving going to the Lakers, Russell Westbrook likely going to the Nets. There's talks about maybe a third team being involved, the San Antonio Spurs. And when it comes to a deal, Rob Pelinka and Sean Marks are supposed to sit down this weekend over Summer League to try to hash out and finalize whatever deal can be done and trying to acquire Kyrie Irving. And now there are reports that are coming out that there may be a mix within the organization for the Lakers on which way they should approach. Now, many people, including LeBron, is pushing heavily for Kyrie Irving. He really wants Kyrie Irving back on the Lakers. And Kyrie Irving makes a ton of sense, right? He's a guy that can create his own shot, can get to the basket, can shoot, is one of the most talented players ever. The problem is will he buy in? Will he be a headache like he has been in other places, or will LeBron be able to kind of keep him under wraps? Kyrie Irving has spoke very highly of LeBron as of late, especially over the last year or so, talking about how, he's the one that messed it up, how, he would probably be in LA if he would have just stuck it out and they would have had several championships, things like that. And it's very possible. I mean, Kyrie and LeBron won a championship together with Kevin Love. You essentially are upgrading Kevin Love to Anthony Davis. That's about as huge of an upgrade as it gets. I mean, a team of Kyrie, LeBron, and Anthony Davis would be fantastic. They are an absolute contender. Whether people want to believe it or not, they are. You're talking about three guys that just mesh beautifully together. LeBron, he's very likely going to be more point guard, but with a guy like Kyrie, takes a lot of the burden off of him compared to Westbrook. Westbrook, with LeBron having the ball in his hands, Westbrook becomes essentially a non-factor, right? He gets relegated to standing in the corner, things like that. It's just a much better and natural fit. But the outside of LeBron wanting Kyrie Irving, the issue is many within the Lakers organization are said to have want a Buddy Hield and Myles Turner trade over a Kyrie Irving trade. And now this is a report that came out about a week ago that the Lakers' plan B, if they can't get a Kyrie Irving, is Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. That is what they want to do. That's kind of the leverage play. There was even a report that came out as early as yesterday saying that Rob Pelinka basically is telling Sean Marks that, hey, if we don't do this Kyrie trade, I'm going to go out, I'm going to try to get Buddy Hield. Now, it is possible for them to get both Buddy Hield or Eric Gordon, which is the other piece that they're looking at, which I do think Eric Gordon would be easier to obtain. But it is possible to get both Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving depending on how things shape up. So that's kind of the logic and thinking is like Rob Pelinka kind of put pressure on the Brooklyn Nets. We could still get Buddy Hield even if we do the Kyrie trade. So let's add some pressure. Hopefully they cave. We get Kyrie Irving and maybe we end up with Buddy Hield. But if we can't get Kyrie Irving, maybe we can use those assets to go get a guy like Myles Turner and Buddy Hield from the Indiana Pacers. The problem is Buddy Hield makes all the sense in the world. The Lakers got younger, they got more athletic, they got better defensively, they got better at every position except for shooting. Three-point shooting, LeBron right now statistically was the best three-point shooter on the team last year. So will that change? I think so. When you have a guy like Anthony Davis and LeBron James, a lot of these guys are going to get open looks in ways that they've never gotten open looks before. So I do imagine a lot of these guys the three-point percentage is going to shoot up, but nobody will be as close to a sniper as Buddy Hield, right? And even in Eric Gordon. Now, obviously, Buddy Hield is the more preferred option, but I do think Eric Gordon is much more obtainable. Now, if you can get one of those, great. That's beautiful. But Myles Turner doesn't make a ton of sense anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Myles Turner is an upgrade to all of the centers we have, that being Thomas Bryant, Damian Jones. But the problem is we got those two guys, and Anthony Davis is the best mismatch at the center position. And I imagine to close out games and in the playoffs, it's very likely that he's going to play center in those closeout games, in those closeout moments, right? It would make sense, especially if you get a guy like Buddy Hield, right? You could have, let's say you do the Kyrie trade still, right? You have Kyrie, Buddy Hield, LeBron, Davis at center, and then, whoever else you want, let's say Stanley Johnson, something like that. You have those guys, like you got enough on the court to close out, to score, to defend, to do everything you need. That's likely the scenario. So essentially they have three centers on the roster already. And then if you need to go small, you have guys big enough like Wenyen Gabriel, Stanley Johnson. We saw LeBron at center at times, things like that. You could go small ball center if need be against the smaller teams. So Myles Turner doesn't make a ton of sense as the roster is currently constructed at this time. And I don't know if we have enough to go get Myles Turner from the Indiana Pacers, unless Indiana is selling on Myles Turner very low, which I don't think they are. I don't think that they're just going to give Myles Turner away. And there are probably many other teams that would that would give up a better package than the Lakers would to go get Myles Turner. Now, does that mean that it's impossible for us to get? You never know. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what the asking price is. You don't know what conversations the Pacers and the Lakers may have had. The only thing is like the whole idea of a Westbrook, to the Pacers trade is that it's for salary relief. But Myles Turner is an expiring contract, so even that wouldn't make a ton of sense. Like, yeah, you're taking on Westbrook, which is a larger contract. Maybe you give 2 first-round picks and, maybe throw in like a THT or something and, there's a third player involved. I mean, they could figure it out. I just don't know if this is the best bet. And I don't think Buddy Hield and Myles Turner makes this team a contender the way Kyrie does. Because Kyrie does so much more than what both of these guys bring to the table. We have centers that, yes, they might not be as good as Myles Turner, but they do a lot of the exact same things that Myles Turner does. And we have Anthony Davis that is likely going to play the 5, who is much better than Myles Turner. So that kind of becomes a moot point. And then Buddy Hield, yes, he would be fantastic. We need the shooting, but we would have Kyrie, who offers a lot more than just shooting, right? He's a guy that can get to the paint, that can set up for others, that can, shoot the outside shot, that can just do so much. And I understand LeBron wants Kyrie, but I think the whole Lakers organization as well should want Kyrie. I mean, even if it's just from a box office point, right? Just from a selling point. Just think of the storylines and all of the publicity and all the things. Like, even just from a business sense, it makes more sense to go get Kyrie Irving if you're the Lakers. Now, if you can win with them, that story would be incredible, right? And now you have this real story. And nobody in the Western Conference are these absolute world beaters. There's nobody in the Western Conference that just looked so unbeatable. Nobody's Warriors with Kevin Durant, right? They're all were very vulnerable teams. I mean, even the Suns, who were the best team in the NBA, they looked like they were going to be a world beater. Ended up getting smacked by the Dallas Mavericks, right? And then the Warriors, as great as they were in winning the championship, they were beatable. They could have. I really think that they could have lost to several teams. But that was the thing, is that you go and get the best piece. You know who usually wins trades? The team that gets the superstar, right? And however you feel about Kyrie, he is still a superstar. If he buys in, which I believe he would, because 1, you'd have LeBron James. 2, he actually wants to be there. And 3, he's going to want to show everybody, like, look, you thought you could write me off. You thought I was nobody. You thought I was this just weirdo. Watch what I'm going to do. And I could just see him being incredible. The beauty is there would be no growing pains either, because LeBron and Kyrie have already played together. So they already know how to work off of each other. They know what is required from one another. So there is none of those growing pains that come with trying to, figure it out. And can we make this work? And how, who gets the ball? Who's the point? No, Kyrie knows I'm the shooting guard. LeBron's going to handle the ball. Anthony Davis is going to be the monster down low. We're going to set him up. I'm going to set me up. LeBron, all he has to worry about is facilitating. Hopefully that'll give him some more energy on the defensive end. LeBron's going to get his 20 points a game regardless, just because he's that skilled and that intelligent. He's going to figure out how to score. It's not going to be a big deal. Plus, his improved shooting will be hugely beneficial. So I just see nothing but a bona fide roster. You'd have the youth, the defense. If you can still go get a Buddy Hield or even an Eric Gordon, you have the shooting. You have everything you need to be a contender. There would be no excuses. But Myles Turner, I feel at this point becomes redundant. And then Buddy Hield, you could get Buddy Hield regardless, even if you got Kyrie. So I just don't see the point of let's move over to this rather than going and getting Kyrie. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Are you on the side of no, go get Kyrie Irving? Or are you on the side where it's no, Myles Turner and Buddy Hield would be perfect, right? You get the shooting, you get the size, you get a big man that can block shots, defend, can, hit the outside shot. Myles Turner is an amazing talent at center. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But it's do you have, you have 3 guys that essentially do all the same things Myles Turner does. And the difference is, outside of Anthony Davis, none of those guys need or demand the ball. Where if you go get a Myles Turner, you're going to need to feed him the ball. He's going to need his touches. He's going to be a guy that is going to want to have some success individually, where, Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones, they're going to be okay with, 10 touches a game or, whatever, or just cleaning up the glass and getting putbacks and stuff. I just think you go get Kyrie. Go get the superstar. Figure it out. He already won a championship with LeBron, so there's a formula for success there. Why would you even try to risk it? At least that's how I view it. I'd love to hear how you view it down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.